All right, today we are diving deep into a really big deal in the world of tourism, the Philippines Tourism Act of 2009. This thing is basically the master plan, the blueprint for turning the country's incredible natural beauty into a real economic powerhouse. So let's break down how they set out to do it.
And it all really starts with this one huge question, right? How do you take something like a beautiful beach or an amazing mountain range and turn it into a sustainable, powerful engine for the whole country's growth? Well, this law is the Philippines' very ambitious answer to that exact problem. So to really get a handle on this blueprint, you have to start with the vision. The act kicks things off by laying out the big idea. Basically, why tourism is so much more than just vacations. It's about national interest. And let me tell you, this law does not mess around. Right from the get-go, its opening statement is incredibly powerful. It calls tourism an indispensable element. I mean, that's some strong language. It tells you that this isn't just about getting more people to visit. It's a full-on strategy for nation building. But here's the thing. It's not about growth at any cost. No way. The entire plan is guided by a really strong set of principles. As you can see, it has to be sustainable, it has to be culturally sensitive, and maybe most important of all, it has to be for and by the Filipino people. This really sets the ethical foundation for everything else.
And the whole thing is built on this one core concept, sustainable tourism development. The easiest way to think about it is like a three-legged stool, you know? It needs to perfectly balance the economy, society, and the environment. If one leg is too short, the whole thing falls over. It's all about making sure the amazing things we see today are still there for our kids and their kids to enjoy.
Okay, so you've got this grand vision, which is great, but the real question is how do you actually make it happen? So the next part of the act shifts gears from the why to the what, laying out a concrete action plan with very specific goals. And this is the roadmap, turning that big vision into reality. It's a clear six-step strategy. First, you need a national plan. Then you focus on education and protecting the country's heritage. Step 3 is all about the money, fueling growth with government help and big investment incentives. Then, number 4 is the safety net. Environmental protection is an absolute must. Fifth, you aim for the best, maintaining international standards. And finally, the really cool part, the tool to make it all work, creating special tourism enterprise zones. Now, a great plan is useless without the people to make it happen, right? You need architects to build the future. So, who are the key players in charge of making all this a reality for Philippine tourism? Right in the middle of it all, you have the Department of Tourism. You can think of them as the command center. They're the main agency that's planning, coordinating, and regulating the whole show, making sure all the different parts are working together like a well-oiled machine. And backing them up are two really important specialist teams. On one side, you've got the Tourism Promotions Board, the PTPB. These are the marketers. It's their job to get the word out and sell the Philippines to the world. And on the other side, you've got TIZA. They're the builders, the ones focused on creating the infrastructure and the special zones to bring in those big investments. And the team is even bigger than that, which really shows you just how comprehensive this plan is. You've got all these other specialized agencies involved, from the folks preserving colonial history in Intramuros to a whole commission just for scuba diving. It shows they're really thinking about every single piece of the tourism puzzle. Okay, let's zoom in on one of the most powerful and, honestly, innovative tools in this whole lock, the Tourism Enterprise Zones, or TEZs. How do these things actually work on the ground to kickstart development? So, a TEZ is basically a specific area that's been marked for super focused development. It's a place where the government and private companies can team up, cut through the usual red tape, attract a ton of investment, and just really push the quality of everything to a world-class level. But you can't just declare any old place a TEZ. There's a pretty strict checklist. It's got to have that natural beauty or cultural history, it needs good access to roads and utilities, and it has to be big enough for serious investment. And here's the really smart part. It has to be located somewhere it can create a ripple effect, sparking development in all the surrounding towns, too. And the law sets up two main ways to do this. A greenfield TEZ is for building something totally new from the ground up, like a massive, world-class resort in a place that was basically untouched before. On the flip side, a brownfield TEZ is for taking an area that already has stuff there, like an older tourist spot, and giving it a massive upgrade to unlock its full potential. So, when you take a step back and look at all these different pieces, what does the whole master plan really add up to? Let's just quickly recap the framework to see how it all fits together. It really boils down to a pretty elegant four-step blueprint. You've got the why, that big vision of a sustainable economic engine. Then you have the what, the specific goals for growth and preservation. Then the who, the government players making it happen. And finally, the how, those powerful tools like the TEZs, designed to turn the whole vision into a reality on the ground. And that leaves us with the big final question, the one that really hangs over any plan this ambitious. The Tourism Act of 2009 is without a doubt a really smart and well-designed blueprint. But as the new hotels go up and more tourists arrive, that delicate central challenge is always going to be there. Can a master plan like this truly balance the massive drive for profit with the absolutely vital need for preservation? That's the billion-dollar question.